From surgically modified bodies to becoming a millionaire in a day business, do we even know what's real anymore? Every day we are faced with the next best thing when we're just trying to become healthier, wealthier, and happy. What the fuck is real? What the fuck is true? What the fuck are you supposed to believe about yourself and your success while trying to build something that actually lasts? Welcome to What the Fuck is Beauty Anyway, the podcast. I am your host, Jen Carrasco, founder of Virago Studio, a fitness champion, IFBB pro figure competitor, a skincare line creator, and a serial entrepreneur. Well, and I'm an overall business coach. After years of building businesses from the ground up, I am here to help you with society standards and, well, to use your beauty within to build something that is truly you and truly impactful. So now let's dive in. What's going on, guys? So today we are going to talk about a topic that has been key in my Reboot Metabolism program. And today it's going to be about pretty much, do you ever notice that you can't ever get your belly quite as flat as what you maybe used to when you were younger? And that is actually what we are going to dive into today. We are going to dive into metabolism and the reasoning behind metabolism and why you are not achieving that nice tight belly that you used to have. And it may not even be what you used to have, but also just even fat loss in general and why it is not happening. A lot of it is correlated to a lot of your digestive problems. So if you ever feel like, you've eaten something and it just doesn't settle right, you get a little bloated, maybe you can't, really get rid of the bloat, or whenever you eat something, you kind of always just get that bloating or that indigestion or anything like that, you are actually going to get a lot from this podcast today. So the one thing that I would really, really appreciate that you do is after you listen to all this, you at least implement maybe possibly 1 to 2 things in your daily routine. And then after that, maybe slowly start to implement a little bit more into it as you see the results happening in your day-to-day digestion. So this is something that has definitely taken me some time to learn and understand, especially with competing and learning just my body in general with different foods and different processes, but also the education behind it all as well. So the first piece of the puzzle that I'm going to go over is how you exercise and how you eat is really just one part of the puzzle. I know a lot of us have that mindset of, well, I'm eating clean, I'm exercising, I'm supplementing, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I teach a lot of people that we tend to get in this mindset, and it could even be in business. When I'm coaching with business, is the fact of I am doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm not having a change. And there's always a reason why you are not having a change, and especially with body goals. A lot of times when I coach or train people, or we're working with mentoring with business or money goals, a lot of times if they're doing the work and they're not receiving the results, which I personally think a lot of times that is really a negative mindset, and you have to keep more of a positive mindset. But it is a realization that you need to look at maybe other outcomes or other reasons why these are things are not actually aligning and happening like you believe that they should be. So before I start any program with my clients or mentoring, and especially when it comes to, body goals and your mental of what you think that your body should be, a lot of it comes with the fact that the realization that maybe you're doing all of these steps to proclaim what you think that you are supposed to be or what you're supposed to be like or what you're supposed to have. And people don't understand that a lot of it comes from their mindset, and a lot of it comes from stress in their life and hormones and cortisol levels and testosterone, and all of that plays a huge effect. And I am definitely going to be diving in that deep within the next coming month or 2 months. But today I definitely want to go over more of the digestion process and exactly what we think, how we think, and what we do actually creates a lot more issues in our digestion than necessarily maybe what we are constantly eating or the way we think that our fitness is going or our diet, supplements, or nutrition. So the first thing that I'm going to start off with digestion, which is super, super simple. And this is actually something that happens a lot with a lot of men and women that I see, and a lot of bloating, is the fact that when they are eating something, they eat so fast that their body can't digest it properly. So meaning like you're eating it whole, you're just gulping it down because you don't have the time. And what I try to, I'm always in the process of letting everybody know is that when you're consuming your food, you need to make sure that you are actually properly chewing your food. And definitely taking the time to chew it and just not swallowing it whole, because it actually causes a lot of stress to our body. The digestive part of when it starts and when the role plays is actually when we're chewing our food, because we produce the saliva that helps to break that down. And it starts the digestive process in our mouth. And then, of course, we swallow it and it goes along and, it starts digesting and breaking down as it's going in internally. But the thing is that if you are just literally, inhaling your food, you're actually promoting your stomach to be more bloated, and you're promoting the indigestion in your body and the stress levels actually. So when your body is in stress and you are just eating really quick because you're stressed out and you have to get from point A to point B, you're actually wreaking more havoc on your body and your digestive system at that point. And another way that I say this is, in order for your body to break down your food properly, to get the nutrients into where you need to, that is actually how your body becomes healthy. That is actually how you get into shape. So if I hear, okay, yes, I'm eating healthy, I'm working out, I'm doing whatever I need to do, but is your body actually properly digesting the food you're eating? Or are you causing inflammation in your body at that point? So the metabolism in your body is pretty much, it's taking that nutrients from your food. That's really what creates your body to actually get into shape and to gain that muscle and to lose that weight and keep your hormones in check. And so this is a huge key that you actually have to factor into your diet, is take that time to actually chew your food, enjoy your food, process your food. So I want to make it a little bit more clear and understanding, because I know that I'm going through the motions and I'm teaching you the aspects of what happens, but let me give you a day in a life. Okay. So say you are food prepping, right? You feel really good about your food choices that you're making, you're prepped through the day. You go into the office and, maybe that morning you hit the Peloton and you did some workouts or whatever you did, and you're feeling great and you're prepped, you're ready to go. But maybe you're trying to get to a meeting, right? And you don't have the proper time to sit there and actually eat your food adequately. So you're kind of downing your food while you're driving, or say you're in the office and you're trying to get all of those emails written back, but you're like inhaling your food and maybe they're stressful emails. What I'm trying to say is that your body can't understand the fact of you're under stress or not under stress, because it's almost that fight or flight response, right? So if we're doing things, but we're shoveling our food down, especially I see this a lot of times, with hairstylists, is that we're so busy back to back to back that we shovel our food down in between clients. And the thing is that your body thinks you're under stress. So it's not going to digest your food because it's going to help you because you're in that, fight or flight mode, right? And so those big chunks of food are actually just like sitting in your stomach, not really getting digested properly like it should be. I mean, later on down the road, it does eventually get digested, but it's not the way that it should be. And it's not the way that our body should be working properly. So I'm just taking feedback for you maybe to start initializing and knowing kind of what you're doing. Like if you're going to eat your meal, maybe purposely sit down for a minute and eat your meal and focus on your meal. And I know sometimes it's really hard for us to do, especially in our life of what we've created right now, and we're A-driven. I mean, I know I am, and I multitask a lot and I do a lot of things, but in order to properly keep our hormones and our life in balance, these are things that we have to do. Because if we don't do it, we're not going to get the results that we want to in the outcome. So this is why I really feel like doing a whole scenario on just digestive is actually very, very important, because people don't understand the concept of it and nobody's really explained it in that aspect. People just say, when you eat really fast, it's really bad, your body can't digest. But I'm trying to get you to understand the reason why is because your body is in that stress mode. And so your body will not break that down properly. So if you want to dramatically improve your fitness, your weight loss, this is something that you should be implementing. It literally takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes to properly eat a meal. If you can start implementing that into your daily life, you'll actually notice that you'll probably start hitting your fitness goals and losing those pounds and attaining the goals that you want to. The next thing that I want to go over is eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. So incorporating a lot of fiber into your diet is actually really great for your digestive system. It definitely will help to get your bowels working a lot better. The only thing is that you have to take into consideration if you have issues with fructose, certain things like that. So the conclusion is, fiber is definitely key. And also another thing that a lot of people don't understand is that fiber will actually slow a lot of things down and make it easily digestible in your system. Now, there is one thing that I do want to go over, and this falls in the category of myself, is a lot of times when we are stress-based, which I am, I'm very A personality, so I'm always busy. Having raw vegetables takes our body a little bit more to break down. So my suggestion for those people that are very high-stressed, high-paced life is to actually cook our vegetables slightly to actually break them down a little bit, because that will actually help our bodies to break them down even more. Because when we are high stressed, high level, our bodies don't necessarily break down very easily, correct? We just went over that just a minute ago. So if you can slightly cook your foods, it will help to break them down. If that doesn't work, if you notice that when you eat raw vegetables or fruit, that you tend to get bloated very quick, that is the reason why. So my suggestion is to start cooking your food slightly to alter that for you. So this is something that I actually learned from Dr. Gabby within the last 2 years, which I have implemented into my routine and my diet, is I don't actually eat a lot of raw vegetables, and I don't actually eat a lot of salad. The reason why is because it's really hard for my body personally, and everybody's body, to actually digest those veggies. So a lot of times, I will have a salad every now and then, but a lot of times I will take spinach and I will throw them in my eggs or do something like that to where I lightly cook them or saute them. And it's easier for our bodies to actually digest those properly. But I do want to go back a little bit too, is that, I do have times that I have coached people and, they'll add more fiber in their diet, and more vegetables. And they come back and say, I'm even more bloated, or I'm constipated and I'm stuck and it's worse than it was before. And my thing is too, is that you have to go back to the fact too, is that you need to make sure you're not eating stress-based. So even though you're eating vegetables and you're being super healthy, if you're just shoveling them down and you're actually not thoroughly chewing them and doing what you're supposed to be doing to help your body to digest them, you're actually producing more fiber in your body, and you will get blocked up even more, and it will be harder for your system to kind of let those go. So the next thing I want to talk about is good bacteria in your stomach. So having good digestion comes from actually having really good bacteria. So this is a suggestion that I always make to every client of mine, is that we need to make sure that we have good probiotics in our diet. And I usually will take a great probiotic in the morning, and I will actually take one at night. And a lot of times the good bacteria that is supposed to be in our stomach is actually killed a lot of times from antibiotics that we've done previously. Also, it actually kills a lot of our probiotics, or a lot of our good bacteria, I should say, in our gut from our stress levels as well. If we're highly stressed, it will definitely kill a lot of that good bacteria. So I do recommend a probiotic. I do recommend that you take it at least once or twice a day. And I do recommend preferably a dairy-free one. There actually is some really great kefir ones out there if you'd like to do that as well. But those are my suggestions with that one. So what I want you to understand is to have a healthy system and gut and everything else, you almost have to have like this really great colony in your tummy, right? And that colony, it all works together. And that's what keeps everything healthy. But not just having the good bacteria in there to keep everything flourished and healthy. I truly feel that a lot of this stems from a lot of our mindset, a lot of what we think about ourselves, a lot of our stress, a lot of our environment, a lot of our toxins that we do. So I know that we live in a stress-based society, but I truly feel that maybe taken back, the reason why maybe you cannot lose weight, or the reason why you're bloated all the time, is you really need to take a step back, and you need to start realizing these are the things that you need to implement in your lifestyle. You need to live more of a stress-free. You need to kind of watch how you're eating. You need to supplement with good probiotics, keep a healthy flora, keep a healthy gut. So another thing we're going to go over is a way to help your body actually digest a little bit better. And we're going to talk about fermented foods. So fermented foods actually contain a small amount of bacteria. It causes your body to actually fight a little bit more and actually get stronger from. These foods come from yogurt, fermented vegetables, or even pickled. So these tend to actually have more of like a pickled, slightly acidic, tangy to them. You can ferment foods yourself, and you can look that up. I mean, everything is definitely on Google. But for myself, I necessarily do not have the time to ferment them, but it's actually pretty easy with vinegar. I did do some kombucha back in the day, and I did do a lot of that, but then I also noticed that actually the kombucha was actually making me a little bit bloated and more upset. So it's something that you definitely want to maybe food journal a little bit, or just even take into consideration how something can react to your body. And another good thing that I always try to tell people, I even have it in my metabolism program that I'm doing, is dark chocolate. And I tend to always go towards the Lily's chocolate because it's high in fiber and it has good fiber in there, actually, with not a lot of sugar, and it has high dark chocolate value. So dark chocolate is actually a fermented food. Of course, we have to eat some of that in moderation, but I definitely add that actually into my diet daily. So another key factor is that if you do not have good bacteria in your body, your metabolism, but also your health and your nutrients, it dies down, right? You're more prone to get infections. You're more prone to get sick. Your energy, your mental level, all of that, it actually is quite depleted. Good bacteria is actually correlated to your serotonin, because serotonin is actually produced in your stomach. And if you don't know what serotonin is your happy hormone. So if you have a upset stomach, or your body can't digest something, or you're stressed out a lot, you're moody, you're going through issues, or you're eating intolerant foods that you shouldn't be eating. So it's going to be really hard for you to feel good from a happy place. So that's a key factor. If we want to be happy and we want to feel happy and we want to look good, and it all comes back to the key factor of really how you feel about yourself. So the key factor with all of this is just to understand that a lot of our stress levels in our life, and a lot of pushing ourselves, and a lot of doing so many different things, is that the key factor is we're not going to be healthy individuals as far as our digestive, right? It's not going to be breaking down our foods like we need. It's not going to be properly doing everything that we want it to do. We actually are going to tend to get bloated. Our hormones are going to be off whack. We're not going to be able to sleep well. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. So what I really want you to take from this is to prioritize things. Reduce foods that you think that are, altering your body's digestive system. Add in some probiotics, add in some fermented foods, and start doing things for yourself. Whether it be you are getting a massage every other week, or you're getting a pedicure, you're getting your nails done, or you're getting your hair done. Whatever it may be, start implementing those things in your life. The last thing that I do want to go over are grains. The reason why I do want to go over it is because I don't necessarily believe in grains. I don't think that you need to get adequate fiber from your grains or carbs. I think you can get a lot of that from your vegetables. There's a link for grains that when you eat a lot of grains or you eat a lot of carbs, it actually triggers your cravings for sugar. And that tends to alter a lot of people who are trying to get their body back into the shape that they want to. So a lot of times what people don't understand is we can get our carb sources. We get carb sources from our protein. We get carb sources from our fat. I'm not saying that you have to deplete yourself from any sort of carbs. That's your discretion if you can digest those properly. But what I have noticed is those are definitely key factors that I noticed that within my clients that I actually tend to steer away from. I will add a little bit of carbs depending, but more natural carbs. I will do more sugar or I'll do more vegetables. When we are gearing down towards, like, if they're working out or they're doing something more like in consideration, like if they have leg day or something like that the following day, maybe the night before we'll consume a little bit more carbohydrates to have more energy for the following day. But for fiber, if you're looking at something to digest, that is actually something that I would actually steer away from. And the last thing with carbs too is that it fully doesn't have a lot of nutrition value. The reason why carbs exist, of course, is for that period of time when people didn't know when they were really going to be eating that next meal. And so that came in to keep them fuller longer, right? Or to keep fat on their body longer. So you're just not going to get the nutrient value that you would get from the vegetables, as well as, the pure fiber that you would get through all of this. So the last thing I want to talk about is protein digestion. This is very, very important because everybody needs a huge amount and adequate protein in their diet daily. Protein is really the end all for everything. It helps with your collagen, your elastin, your skin, your body. Everything revolves around protein. It is one of the highest things that you definitely do need. I do have clients that when they consume certain types of protein, that they definitely get more bloated and they have digestion problems with that. And again, it all falls back to making sure that you're eating properly and you're slowly eating your foods. But a lot of times, some proteins are really hard for people to digest. And so that's when I let them know that they probably should start substituting that protein with, well, not substituting, but go towards more of the leaner meats. Another thing too is don't rely on the same sources of protein constantly. Always change up your sources of protein that you are consuming daily. And to kind of end all of this, I do recommend that you do take a digestive enzyme. I think digestive enzymes are very important. They will definitely help your body to break down things and make it actually easier on your body to break down things. So I always take my digestive enzyme about 15 minutes before I eat a meal. I don't necessarily take it with every single meal. I usually will do that about twice a day. So it's completely up to you. And just listen to your body, as well as, knowing what type of foods need more help breaking down. So before I end all of this, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. It's just know that the true digestion, it only will work if you actually eat properly. So take some time, chill out, take the 10 minutes, chew your food properly, and you'll probably start to notice a big difference. So this is a takeaway for all the women out there that I get the messages of, how they can get those flat bellies back again, that they tend to get bloated very easy. And it's just simple things like this. We all live in a stress-based society. We're all stressed. We need to learn how to calm our hormones down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and stay tuned for next week. Thanks for turning in this week. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're feeling stronger mentally and physically and ready to kick some ass. As we navigate new society norms, business and beauty breakthroughs, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that really matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on how to work with me at jencarrasco.com. You can also find me on all of your favorite social media platforms. Now just remember, stay mentally tough.